The Virtual Boy, probably the weirdest piece of Nintendo hardware ever made. A system that launched in 1995, sold less than 1 million units, and was pulled from shelves in less than a year. For decades, it's been a punchline, a red and black relic more famous for giving people headaches than for its games. But here's the thing. Nintendo is bringing it back. Not as a mini console, not as some obscure emulator, but as a full new addition to Nintendo Switch Online, with stereoscopic 3D, 14 games, and even a brand new accessory. And for the first time in 30 years, you'll be able to play Virtual Boy the way it was meant to be played. Alrighty guys, welcome back to Fix My Oculus. This is the channel where we fix, repair, and dive into everything VR, and today we're sidestepping into Nintendo land. Because while the Virtual Boy isn't exactly VR, it's about as close as you could get in 1995. It had dual displays, stereoscopic depth, and a visor-style form factor. It was literally marketed as a three-dimensional immersive experience. Not sure if that sounds familiar to you. So the fact that Nintendo is reviving this thing now in 2025 on both the Switch 2 and the original Switch is more than just retro fan service. It's a chance to re-experience one of gaming's strangest moments, but this time with modern hardware behind it. Nintendo dropped the trailer this morning, and here's what it showed. Virtual Boy is coming under the Nintendo Classics label, and you'll need a dedicated accessory to play. This thing recreates the form of the original Virtual Boy. You will slot your Switch or Switch 2 into it, put your eyes up to the visor, and suddenly you're back in 1995. There will be two versions, a premium plastic replica that looks kind of like the real deal, priced around $100, and a cheaper cardboard model, closer to $25. Both will let you play in the stereoscopic 3D the way the system was originally designed. The trailer also showed off some of the first games, Mario's Tennis, Galactic Pinball, and Tellero Boxer. Over time, Nintendo says that the library will expand to 14 titles, and this includes things like Virtual Boy Wario Land, Red Alarm, Jack Bros, Vertical Force, and others. But basically nearly the entire Virtual Boy library, all in one subscription. And the release date for this is official. Virtual Boy Nintendo Classics will launch February 17th, 2026. So why bring it back now? For the longest time, Virtual Boy has felt untouchable. It's too niche, it's too awkward, too tied to that red and black display, but the timing kind of makes sense in a way. The Switch 2 is rolling out while the original Switch is still going strong, so Nintendo needs something flashy to get people buzzing about the subscription service across both consoles. And honestly, the hardware finally makes sense. Modern screens and better refresh rates mean that you can recreate the Virtual Boy experience without it being a literal headache machine. And that's where this gets interesting for me, because while the Virtual Boy isn't full VR, this is the first time that Nintendo has leaned back into headset-style gaming in decades. With kind of an asterisk there. The Virtual Boy is basically VR's awkward grandparent. It failed, sure, but it paved the way, and it made stereoscopic gaming a conversation. It showed both the potential and the pitfalls. And now a whole new generation of players is going to get their first taste of headset-style play through the Switch. Millions of Switch Online subscribers will be able to slot their console into a visor, press it up to their eyes, and experience stereoscopic depth. That might not be VR, but it's close enough to spark some curiosity. Folks growing up on the Switch and Switch 2 will know what it's like to game inside of a visor, and that's groundwork for the future, whether Nintendo calls it VR or not. Of course, there are some caveats here. You'll have to use the accessory. There's no flat screen option, at least not as advertised. The rollout of all 14 games will be gradual, so don't expect the full library on day one. Comfort is still an open question because even with modern displays, it's still red and black stereoscopic imagery. And right now, Nintendo says US and Canada first, with no official word on Europe, Japan, or elsewhere. Nintendo doesn't usually move like this by accident. Adding Virtual Boy in 2026 gives the Switch 2 a quirky retro exclusive, reminds people that Nintendo is still experimenting, and it lets them casually rewrite the Virtual Boy's legacy. Instead of being remembered as a failed console, it's going to get a second chance as a cult classic that's been reborn. For me, that's exciting, not because Nintendo is about to dive headfirst into VR, but because it shows they haven't forgotten about immersive play. Anytime a company with Nintendo's reach experiments with visor-style gaming, even in retro form, it's a win for everyone in XR space. But I want to know what you guys think. Will you actually play these Virtual Boy games in 2026, or is this just a fun novelty that you'll try once and then put it on the shelf, the way that we did with the original Virtual Boy? Let me know in the comments. And if you liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into VR history, future tech, and the repair work we do here every day at Fix My Oculus. But that's really all I got for you guys today, so we will see you on the next one.